tell us a little bit about what it's like for you guys to play these characters, and tell us a little bit about your characters.
Well, I mean, mine's probably one of the most famous with MASH that's stayed through is Benjamin Franklin Pierce, or Hawkeye. And it's been a challenging thing for me, one of the more challenging roles I've ever done, because I have to follow people like Donald Sutherland and Alan Alda into this role, but decided to really try to make it my own and bring myself to it, my own experience, but also pay homage to the people that came before me in the role. If you come and see the show, you'll see, because some of my costume choices are very Alan Alda-esque. But it's been a challenge, more of a challenge than I anticipated it was going to be. It really has been.
Do you find yourself trying to play Alan Alda, or?
No, I didn't want to do that. I don't want to be Alan Alda. I don't want to be Donald Sutherland. I want to bring my own self to the role. But by the same token, the people, there's some choices they made with the roles. Both I've combined some of that and worked it in. And the play script is different than the movie, and it's also different than the TV show. So you're dealing with characters that aren't in either. There's the script writing is different, of course, because you don't have it's a different writer, but still very, very well done.
I played Duke. Duke features prominently in the book and then also in the film. Probably the closest character in the TV show might be BJ Honeycutt from the later seasons. It's a sidekick character. It's a character that you play things a little more flat, a little more straight, and it allows the Hawkeye character to turn things even more sideways than I think he would on his own. So there's a lot of the humor is tandem humor. So one character will set up another character, and whether it's Hawkeye and Duke or Hawkeye and Duke, taking something from one of the other characters who have said or done. There's a lot of tandem humor in it. It's a really fun show. It's a great ensemble cast. We may have top billing as Hawkeye and Duke, but the backbone of the show is about 28 other people in the show.
That's one of the unique things about this script is they call us lead roles, but in so many ways some ways that's true, but in other ways it's not. We have just about as much stage time as anybody else does, because there are several scenes we're just not in because of the way it's written in a very vignette style. And I don't even come on stage until like the fifth scene in the second act.
Right.
So
it's very much an ensemble cast, and I think that's one of the things that makes it a good choice for the Lyric, a good choice for Brownwood, because it showcases our local talent. Yeah. And we have a good deep bench with the Lyric. And play like this gets to show that off.
One of the things, though, I don't think it's never ever that any of the characters ever didn't appreciate what the soldiers were doing or what they were doing for them, but they did focus somewhat on the senselessness of war.
And I would say also that one of the central messages of the play, especially, is about making good out of bad situations.
Absolutely.
And one of the central themes of the show is Hawkeye and Duke trying to get a young Korean refugee to medical school in the United States.
Right.
And so that's really one of the themes that ties together a lot of the other madcap episodes of the show. But
and it's kind of buried a little, but it's a very important part of the show.
Yeah, and at times it doesn't come out quite as clearly as other times, but that really is the central current that ties the whole thing together. Is what they're trying to do for this one young student, aspiring doctor. And so the idea that that the show is about service, and not just of the servicemen, but also of the draftees, the mere doctors who are there trying to serve, not just medically, but then also trying to get this refugee to the United States and get him into medical school. So really the theme is about service, and it's about making the best of whatever situation that you're in.
This is our third show since we've opened the building. I've been a part of each show thus far, and it's been exhilarating. That's a word I would use, is because we have our own space, and it's starting to feel you're starting to settle in. The players are settling in. It feels more like home every time we do something. It really is a home away from home for a lot of us. We spend a lot of time here, but this facility is amazing. if the people who haven't been to a show, I just encourage them to come just to experience the venue, because it's very unique, and we have such a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great space, and it's something that Brownwood deserves. It's something that Brownwood's worked hard for a very long time. It's a great group of people who had a dream and had a vision about what this space could be, sort of restore it to its former glory. I think they did that with the way that it looks. We try and do that then with what we put up on the stage, and it just really is a great space and just a great, just kind of shining star in downtown Brownwood, and the kind of thing that we think can really bring some revitalization to the area.
And during an actual performance, where irrespective of whatever the play is, are you able to have fun, or are you concentrating too much on what you're doing and what your next line's going to be?
Depends on the actor, I think.
It's both. It really is both.
You're good.
The fun for us is being in the moment.
Yeah.
There's a deep camaraderie that develops when you're doing a show like this, and part of the fun is the interaction. To a certain extent, when you're really in the zone, you've rehearsed it long enough and well enough to know what the other people are going to do also.
Right.
And so there's
if something happens, he and I work together enough now. If something happens, we can almost anticipate how the other one's going to handle that situation.
So it becomes very natural.
You become like a family, and every show cast is like a family. It's an extended family, and there is stress involved. I mean, you've got line learning, you've got blocking, you've got all the work aspect, if you will, but once you pass and you get into the groove where we are now, we're about to open the show and everybody's settling into that portion of it, the fun overtakes everything else, and the joy, and we get, the nice part is some of it is self-serving in the fact that we get enjoyment watching the audience be entertained. It's a reciprocal relationship.
So are you aware when they're enjoying it and laughing and stuff?
Absolutely. It's live theater. We see everything. We can see everything that's going on out there. The interesting thing is, audience participation is just as much responsible for the energy on stage as we. And when I say it's reciprocal, even the energy, the laughter, the applause, all of that actually will feed us and help us play better.
Now, can you actually, from up there under the lights, can you actually see what's going on out here?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes,
I mean, it's if we walk from on stage to pitch black backstage, then you can't see anything. But no, it's not so blinding you can't see the detail of what's happening. Oh yeah, we can identify people and see where they are.
The sound is the biggest thing. We can tell when people are laughing, and we can tell when people are clapping, and we can tell when people are quiet.
Quiet is
not good. Quiet is not
good at all.
Yeah.
So if somebody waved, you could be able to.
We would see them, probably. Well, if we were looking that way. But you are in the zone, too. When you're in character and you're doing it, you're not paying as much attention, but the audience response, it's hard to describe unless you've ever done it, but the audience response is imperative.
And Matt mentioned that we have a deep talent pool, yet at the same time, this show has like 7 or 8 brand new people on stage for the first time ever. So it's kind of an eclectic.
And that's really the benefit of community theater like this, is that we've got maybe a third of the cast that hasn't done very much or anything at all on the stage before, but they've obviously got the talent for it. So having a space like this allows us to put more shows on. The more shows we put on, the more people from the community we find that really do have a talent for this, really do have a passion for this, and find a place to plug in and serve their community in a fun and entertaining way.
And how
Mark's a great example, because Mark White had never done anything until We Did Anything Goes, and the acting thing just has infiltrated him and got him so deep, and he loves it, and he's playing bigger and bigger roles every time he comes around, and he takes it and runs with it, and is open to anybody's advice, is open to learn anything, but just you can tell he wants to do the absolute best he can.